everybody, and welcome back to Crumbs and Doilies Towers here in London and to the Cupcake Jemma channel. And we have heaps of exciting stuff going on right now. Finally, we are back to baking cakes. I've got Rosie and the team behind me over there decorating cakes, which is just fab because it smells amazing, it looks amazing, and it's just great to be doing what we do best. And then we have this really exciting development going on for Cupcake Jemma, which I'm afraid I can't share with you just yet, but trust me, it's a good one. So in the next few weeks, keep your eyes peeled because it's gonna be big. But something I can share with you today is the secret to our Biscoff New York cookies. We launched the kit a couple of weeks back now, which you can get your hands on over at CupcakeJemma.com. But I thought I'd show you the recipe today. It's very similar to our other recipes for New York cookies, but it's better because inside each one is a pool of Biscoff Spread, and I'm gonna share that secret with you so that you can do it as well. So this is the first thing we're gonna get on with because we need to form these into little dollops so that they can go inside our cookies without oozing anywhere until they're baked. So first of all, what you need to do is get yourself a couple of teaspoons and a tray or a Tupperware or something to put them in, maybe even a chopping board, and we're just gonna portion this out into teaspoon-sized dollops. So just pop 12 of them into a tray. And if you find that where you live is really hot, just like anywhere is today, London is scorching outside, and your Biscoff spread is melting, just put it in the fridge for a little bit until it's nice and scoopable, because otherwise this is going to be pretty impossible to do with runny Biscoff. Now, once you've got it like this, we're going to put that in the freezer for about kind of half an hour to an hour, just so it firms up, and now we can get on with making our cookie dough. So I need some butter, which I'm going to go and get from the fridge because it needs to be cold. So I've had my butter in the fridge for as long as possible because it really does need to be cold, and if it's sitting out whilst you're getting your other ingredients ready, it's going to start softening. So put it back in the fridge till the very last minute. We're going to put all of that into our mixer. Now, of course, you can do this with an electric hand whisk, or you can even do it with a wooden spoon. A few weeks back, you saw Dane doing his macadamia cookies with a wooden spoon and a big bowl, so it does work. And they get the same results, which is perfect. So into there we're going to put our sugars, and I've got a combination of light brown sugar and caster sugar. And a lot of you kind of sometimes saying that you can't find brown sugar, and you can kind of make your own. So maybe even a year ago, we did like a Tuesday tip on how to make your own brown sugar with a bit of treacle or molasses and some sugar, because it is really important that you've got the brown sugar in there because it adds a kind of caramelly taste, and it's a little bit kind of squishy, so that really helps with the cookie texture as well. So now that we've got our sugars and our butters in a bowl, we're going to whisk those up just for a couple of minutes to break the butter down and get some nice sugary, buttery nuggets. Okay, so if we have a little look inside the mixer, we can see we have got some big old chunks of butter going on here, and it's still quite solid. If you give it a squish, it's still nice and firm, it's not melted, which is another reason why you really need that butter to be nice and cold. So next we're going to go in with some chocolate chips, and we're going for a mixture of white and milk here. So we're going to pop all of those into the mixer and just give it like a minute just to kind of spread it evenly around the batter. And next up, we've got some dry ingredients. So in here, I've got some flour, some salt, and some raising agents, which I'm going to tip all in along with some Biscoff crumbs. So you can get some Biscoff cookies and you can crush them up with a rolling pin or in a food processor. You want to keep them quite kind of chunky so that you get these kind of nuggets of biscuit in there, so that when you eat the cookie, you get that hit of Biscoff taste. So we're going to tip all of those in as well. And then I'm going to turn my mixer on to the lowest speed, and we want to get to a breadcrumby, sandy consistency, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. And And it will take about a minute to get there. And if I get my hand right in this mixer and show you what it looks like, we've got some sandy breadcrumby consistency going on there, obviously with the chunks of chocolate chips and our Biscoff crumbs as well. And that's exactly how you want it to look for the final part, which is adding some eggs, which is going to bind the dough together. So we've got 2 eggs here. And what we need to do first is crack them into a separate bowl, and we're going to whisk these together so that we don't have to let the mixer mix for too long to kind of break up the eggs. We just want to bind our dough. So they're nicely broken up, so in we go with our eggs. And turn your mixer on to a low speed, and we just want to keep it mixing until it's come together as one dough. And now it is time for balling. So I'm gonna go for 100-gram balls, but by all means make them bigger, maybe 125. And if we look at this dough, it looks nice and even, but it hasn't sort of like come together and creamed together too much, which is exactly how we want it, because that's how we get those tear apart cookies. And I've got 103 grams there, which I'm pretty pleased with. So first of all, I'm gonna very gently squish it together, but before I turn it into a bit more of a ball, I'm gonna use my thumb to make a bit of an imprint in like this, so that we can grab our first blob of frozen Biscoff. I'm gonna pop it inside like that, and then I'm gonna wrap my cookie dough around it, do the all-important little squish, and there is your first Biscoff cookie. So you wanna grab yourself a Tupperware or a tray that you can cover, because we need to freeze these, of course. So pop that in and get on with doing the rest of your cookie balls. And if you find that your Biscoff is kind of warming up quite quickly, just take a pause, put it back in the freezer for 5 minutes, and then resume, because you don't want to mess these up. Ooh, I've got a little fatty for my last one there, but I'm going to save that one for me. So when you've done all of your cookies and they're all in your Tupperware, or if you've got it in a tray, you want to cover that with cling film, and you need to freeze these. So ideally you would put them in the freezer and you'll bake them tomorrow, but I understand that that's a long time to wait for cookies. So 2 hours will do the job just fine. The best thing about these cookies, as you probably already know, is that you can leave them in the freezer for kind of up to 3 months, which just blows my mind how anybody can keep a cookie in their freezer for that long without eating it, but it means that you can just bake one whenever you want. So luckily I've already got some frozen in the freezer so that we can get on with baking some right away. And when you're ready to bake your cookies, what you need to do is preheat your oven to 180 degrees C. It's got to be hot, guys, because you've got to get that crispy outside. And you're going to put in the oven a baking tray lined with some greaseproof paper, so that the bottom of your cookies are going to get crispy too from the heat of the baking tray. And we're going to pop on, well, as many cookies as you like. And then we're gonna bake them for 15 minutes. And what you want to look for here is a nice golden outside. If it's not looking golden at all, then you just leave it in for another minute, and I'll show you when we take them out what they need to look like. Smell is amazing, And look, you can see how they've gone nice and golden. They're all crackly and beautiful, but they're way too hot to eat right now. So I'm just gonna let them cool down for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna go and have a tidy up, make myself a cup of tea, and then we'll eat some cookies. It's time. So they're still warm because I think that's exactly how you should eat your cookies, and also it means that the Biscoff inside is hopefully going to be melted. So should we have a little look? Oh, whoa. That looks amazing. And the smell of Biscoff that like puffs out of it when you break it. We got to eat this, guys. I'm going to go right in the middle. Mmm. Mmm. I think Biscoff's got to be one of the best things that has ever been kind of invented in this world. So please have a go at this. You could probably also do this with Nutella. So try freezing some balls of Nutella and putting them inside your cookies too, because I reckon that would be pretty awesome as well. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is the latest kit that we've added to CupcakeJemma.com. So you can grab one of these, and inside is everything you need, including some Biscoff Spread and the Biscoff crumbs already broken up. You got the chocolate chips, the sugar, the grease-proof paper, absolutely everything. So head on over to CupcakeJemma.com to get yours. We've got a Biscoff cupcake kit as well. And like I said, stay tuned for some very exciting news coming, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, but I'm not making any like set promises just yet, but I cannot wait. So head over to Instagram to check on what we're up to. You can tag me and Gemma. We'll put our names on the screen now, and use hashtag CupcakeJemma as well so that we can all see and share your photos. If you want to follow Gemma on her kind of baby mummy adventure that she's on, it's hashtag mini cupcake diaries, and you can see what she's up to because it is really, really lovely. And we'll be back very soon with more recipes for you guys. But you gotta leave me now because I've got a lot of cookies